What's up, guys? It's Professor Gnome, and today we're going to be looking at an updated Gholdengo EX list. I really like Gholdengo EX, but it's kind of been a little underwhelming. But we finally have a list that not only got day 2 at regionals, but has been performing really well in the online ladder. What we're looking to do is use Gholdengo EX and combine that with Palkia VSTAR in order to power up things like Greninja very easily and also have a very consistent backup attacker for when we don't either have energies. That was my phone, ignore that. When we don't have energies either in our hand to be able to be discarded, or when we need to hit certain damage numbers that can get a little bit awkward to hit with Gholdengo consistently. So while we're doing that, we're also going to combine it with Cross Switcher in order to enable our Greninja a little bit easier, or our Palkias, whatever it is that we need to do. We're running it with Earthen Vessel to make sure that we can get the energies in hand when we need them and get that set up. We also run 4 Worker. This is really important because if this deck gets, placed under Path to the Peak, we kind of just lose. So we need to make sure we're able to clear that as consistently as possible, and 4 Worker is going to make that really easy to do. We also run 1 Boss and 2 Irida. That's mostly just so that way we can always get into something like our VIP passes, our extra Cross Switcher, our superior energy retrieval, whatever that may be. And lastly, we run 1 Resolve, and I think this card's actually pretty good for kind of like either a later game stage or against specific matchups like Miraidon, where they love to fill their bench. You're able to just kind of draw up, get everything that you need, and go off from there. And we also just run 4 Pokéstops since most of our deck is just item cards, and even if we lose the energy going into the discard pile, which will happen to me every time because my luck with Pokéstop is terrible, it's not really that big of a deal since, again, we can Star Portal our water energies back into play, or we can always superior energy retrieval them or use a standard energy retrieval or whatever that may be. So yeah, that's the deck, guys. Definitely let me know what you think. Let me know what you would change and how you'd edit it. And yeah, let me know what decks you want to see next. I'm working on a T-Tar deck that somebody in the comments had left me, and then I'm kind of like editing a little bit, play testing it, kind of making it my own a little bit off some changes. And I'm working on a couple other decks that I've talked about in the comments a little bit. So yeah, definitely let me know what you want to see next. I'm working on all those. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that standard YouTube stuff. And I'll see you guys in game. Peace. Alright, we're into game 1. Our opponent's going to be going first. That actually works out for us. In this case, we already got, VIP pass and all that kind of stuff set up for ourselves. But typically, going second isn't that bad because we want to be able to use our supporters in order to, guarantee we get the Battle VIP. Shadow Rider. Interesting. I assume it's just, Shadow Rider teched into a Gardevoir deck is what I'm guessing, which, I mean, if they go Shadow Rider VMAX, that's actually not that bad for us. We'll take the 3 prize cards and rock out. Then all we'll need to do is knock out 1 standard Gardevoir and then look for an EX. But they have the Seal Stone already. I'm curious to see what they'll look for there. Ooh. Never mind. I guess they're... Okay, so they are just playing, full Shadow Rider. That's not actually all that bad for us, all things considered, since the ability to... we'll grab an extra Gimmighoul for now. We'll have the ability to knock these out in 1 hit, even at their high HP total, with just building up a large hand with Gholdengo. So it's actually not all that bad for us. What we'll do is we don't really need the Nest Ball anymore, so we can Earthen Vessel that away. Grab ourselves... grab ourselves 1 Steel, double Water. Because, unfortunately, we're not in a position that we're going to be able to use our Radiant Greninja yet. But we want to be able to set it up, because even if these become, Curlias, which we can assume they will. We want to be able to knock those out. They don't have anything that'll really benefit. Or, like, they can't place down a Manaphy or anything like that. We lost a, what was that, a worker and an Irida. Kind of sucks, but it's fine. We can VIP. We'll grab ourselves one more Palkia here, just so that way we have that as an attack option for later on in the game if we need it. We'll attach the Steel Energy onto our Gimmighoul for now. I don't think it's probably going to get knocked out on the next turn. And now we're pretty much fine. What we'll do on our next turn, depending on what they choose to do, is we can actually just go ahead and manually retreat Gimmighoul. Yeah, so there's going to probably be double Kirlia. There's Shadow Rider. So what we're probably going to look to do, actually, is we'll manually attach onto the Greninja. If our Gimmighoul gets knocked out, it's fine. We just promote it. But if not, we just manually retreat. Ultra Ball away the 2 energy. Or an energy and like a PokéStop or something. Or whatever else we draw. Grab ourselves the Palkia VSTAR. Put that into play. Take the 2 prize cards here. Like knocking out the 2 Kirlia. And go from there. Just to slow down his draw engine. We could also do 90 damage to the active and take the 1 prize card, knocking out the Kirlia, and then bring in Palkia to knock out the, knock out whatever VMAX is in the active, is also a possibility. While we wait to set up our Gimmighoul. Or, Gholdengo, rather. We also could, if they do nothing, just look for as many draws as possible and look to just get Gimmighoul or Gholdengo into the active and take 3 prize cards, knocking out the first Shadow Rider, and then do the same play we just talked about onto the next one that actually has energies on it. So we'll see what they choose to do. I mean, they have a really large hand, which... Alright, so they're going to switch that into the active, knock out Gimmighoul. But that's fine. We lose 1 prize card and 1 energy. So nothing to really worry about. And then... Yeah, so if we put the 90 damage onto this... we'll be fine. We get rid of 1 Kirlia, and then... Yeah, so I think that's going to be the play. There's a Gholdengo, so that's pretty good. So we'll Gholdengo here. We'll draw 1 card off this first. VIP, don't really need that anymore. So we'll Ultra Ball, get rid of this. And 1 energy. Grab ourselves the Palkia VSTAR. Evolve that. Then we can concealed cards. Put this into the discard pile. Draw 2. We'll play down the PokéStop. Spin. Alright, cool. So that works. We'll get another Gimmighoul into play. Then what we'll actually do here is we'll manually attach onto the Palkia for now. Because we already have the energy that we need in the discard pile. We'll Worker to clear out the PokéStop so they can't use it on their next turn. We're able to get Irida, which is really good. We're able to get ourselves into a second Gholdengo. Draw ourselves another card. So we have the energy on to use Palkia on the next turn. So attach the 3. Moonlight Shuriken. And then from here, what we can do, 90 onto the active, and knock out one Curlia. That'll put it at 230, which means after our Greninja is knocked out here, we can just promote up Palkia VSTAR and take the knockout. That'll put us down to 2 prizes, so if they do run some sort of other EX, we can knock it out that way. Or we can just sit here and build up energies in the discard pile for a superior energy retrieval play, put Gholdengo into the active, and knock out what other, VMAX we need to, whether it's with a boss or something like that. So we're in a pretty good position. The only thing that can make this a little bit tedious is if they do like a boss's orders onto this Palkia. That would be kind of annoying. But outside of that, okay, even easier. They put a EX into play. So now all we don't even need to worry about dealing with the other VSTAR, or VMAX rather. Even though the difference in health is only 10 points, which is crazy to think about from like an HP total. Like the idea that like this gives up 3 prize cards. It's easier to get out, and it's like objectively, like other than the fact that it's a little bit easier to get out, just being that it's like a stage 1, I guess. The fact that it gives up 3 prize cards, but Gardevoir EX, just because it's a stage 2, only gives up 1, or sorry, it gives up 2 rather than 3, is kind of crazy. Like in the long run, if you think about it. If they choose not to knock me out for whatever reason, then I just manually retreat and go into Palkia. But we'll see what... Oh, they were playing Espeon VMAX. That's pretty cool. Helps with things like Roaring Moon. It's a good tech. They could judge. I mean, that would suck. Not terribly, because, I mean, we'll be able to draw, between 4 or 5 cards regardless on our next turn. But it definitely would be sub-ideal to get judged. Everything else would be fine. Our opponent's turn's really going on, though. There's another Gardevoir EX. The Psychic Embrace is going to make it easier to knock them out as well. There's the boss's orders onto the Palkia. Alright, so that's fine, though. We, kind of planned for that. We need to hit 230, so 5 energy. That's not too difficult. We'll already have the superior energy retrieval. We have 5 in the discard pile. We'll be able to draw really quick. Oh, there's another superior. There's our steel energy. So we're pretty much in it. We'll go ahead and get rid of the Cross Switcher. We're not going to need that anymore. And the Manaphy. Grab ourselves the 4 energy we're going to need. So that's 200 and some change. Let's see. Yeah, so we have everything we need. We're not getting resisted or anything, so we can just go ahead and actually discard another energy with concealed cards. Thin the deck out a little bit. We'll get rid of that. So we're hitting for 250. Cool coin bonus. Grab ourselves one more card. Perfect. And then from here, I think we just hold on to the Irida. So that way, if we get judged, our chances to get a new superior energy retrieval just are a little bit higher. And then we can just hit for 250. So 100, 200, 250. Knock out that, take 3 prizes, and now really all we do is look for... A Cross Switcher could work out for us if this gets knocked out. And we get judged. Like, if we get judged and knocked out, then even then it's actually not really a big deal. We just go to the next Gholdengo. And we just play from there. We have all the stuff in our deck that if we get judged, we can always get back into everything we need. So like hitting high HP totals isn't really that hard. That's also one of the reasons though where I wanted to use Radiant Greninja. And like yes, they bossed around it, but being able to only give up one prize and make the knockout easier. Because had they not had the damage on them, we would have had 300 and would have been either slightly short or, I mean, we got the energy later anyway. But it would have it would have been a lot harder to do. So it's better to use your Greninja and lower HP total sometimes, and then we had the Palkia play available, which like forced them to have to boss. And now we keep our Greninja. So there's 280. Not a big deal. Actually made that one kind of simple. That's going to be the game. They take 2 prizes. We go. It leaves them on the 1 prize just from the Gholdengo earlier. Or not the Gholdengo, the Gimmighoul play earlier. From here, we'll just Superior Energy Retrieval. We'll get rid of the PokéStop. We don't really need it anymore. And an Ultra Ball. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grab that, so that's 200. So we hit for 250. Now we'll grab ourselves 2 more. We don't have enough yet because we have to attach, so we need 1 more. So we can Irida here. And grab ourselves the last Superior. And we should have, yep, the last ones that we need. We'll get rid of an Ultra Ball and the Resolve. Grab ourselves the last 2 energies we need. And now we'll coin bonus, just, you know, grab ourselves some pieces. And we can attack for game 4 for 400. So we'll drop all of our energies down. This is why this is another example of why we wanted to be able to weaken it with Greninja earlier. Is like, yes, we can hit the really high HP totals with like relative ease in order to, you know, knock out our opponent, even if they have like such a high health total, VMAX or EX or something like that. But to make it more consistent, it's easier to take the 90 damage, you know, poke it down, lose a 1 prizer, and then go from there, than it is to always consistently have to find that many energy, like every time you want to do something. But yeah, so that's game 1, guys. Definitely let me know. I know I rambled on about the Greninja play for a little while, but I feel like it's kind of like important. But yeah, definitely let me know what you think of the game. Let me know what you think of the deck so far, all that kind of stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Alright, we're into the next game. We're going to be going first. Our opponent won the coin flip. We're going to mulligan here. Not terrible. I kind of would have liked to keep that hand. But this one isn't bad either, I guess. We have the Ultra Ball. We have a potential Palkia play later. We have Greninja to work with. Interesting. So we'll Nest Ball first. Am I gonna need... What does this do? Nothing that great. So we'll grab ourselves the Gimmighoul for now. We can... What do we want to do here? I'm going to place the 1 energy... Actually, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to discard these 2 energies here. Grab myself the Origin Form Palkia. And the reason for this is that if they are playing... we'll do it like this. Well, Earthen Vessel, the water energy away. Grab myself 2 more. Or, yeah, I'll grab a water and a steel, just so that way I have the steel energy in case I need to go Gholdengo. We'll concealed cards. Throw the water energy away. Grab myself 2 more. And then we'll PokéStop here. Kind of hype. That makes things easier. We'll go 1 more Gimmighoul. And 1 more Palkia. And then we'll manually attach for turn and pass. The reason for this is that if I see this card, I don't know what this does, but I'm just going to guess we're up against a, like, Garchomp style deck. Yep. And so I want to be able to set up for the fact that I can just go ahead, Star Portal, and knock both of these out and just kind of slow their game down without having to worry too much about, you know, whatever it is they can do to me on the next turn with, you know, this Volcarona knockoff. We did cost a lot of our hand, though. I will say that. Losing the worker is kind of annoying, but, like, whatever. Didn't really need that, gonna be honest. So, we'll play this down. We can go ahead and concealed cards at this point. Draw ourselves 2 more. Perfect. Go into Gholdengo. Draw ourselves another card. This will make it easier to knock out the Palkia, or not the Palkia, sorry, the Garchomp later when they set that out. There's our Cross Switchers. That's going to be good as well. Get ourselves into what we're looking for. For now, we Star Portal. Boop, boop, and boop. And we just Moonlight Shuriken. Make it easy on ourselves. Ignore the active. Take care of these. And that's why Greninja just beat... Like, it's so broken against so many rogue decks. Garchomp is all fun and games until somebody has a way to, you know, counter your bench. And then there's really nothing you can do. So I don't think there's really anything they can do. The game's pretty much over at this point, because if they place another energy, do Burning Turbulence, we get we get burned, we get knocked out. We just go Gholdengo and knock this out. And that's pretty much going to be game over. Like, even if they go Riolu and go, like, and they make themselves like another Gible, it's like there's nothing they can do. So we just promote the Gholdengo. Palkia down. Place another Gimmighoul down. We'll Earthen Vessel. Get rid of the Manaphy because we'll never need that. We'll grab ourselves a steel and a water. We can manually attach the steel, so we're ready with that later. We can go ahead and coin bonus. We only need 1 energy to discard in order to knock this out anyway. We will just go ahead and PokéStop here. Perfect. Earthen Vessel away the VIP Pass. Grab ourselves another steel and another water. Let's make this easy on ourselves, and then we can worker and pop off. So we'll make it rain. We'll discard 1 water. Put the extra 50 damage down. Oh my god, for a second I thought I miscounted. Alright, I knew I was right, but for a second when it popped up, I thought that it had 150 health, not 140. And so I was like, oh my god, I miscounted. That would have been so awkward, but we got it to work. Weird they're playing the cloth. That's certainly an awkward play. I'm not sure why when they used Clar, why didn't they grab the Gimmighoul? Because they at least could have had both down and looked for like a rare candy play. This card's terrible. Lady's fine. I think Lady's like okay. Like I used to run it in Gholdengo and stuff. But it's not super great. I'm still really confused on why they didn't go like Gimmighoul, look for like rare candy Garchomp, put that into the active, try to, you know, play the game out that way. I feel like that would have been the best thing to do. We'll just go ahead. At this point, I don't really think we need the cross switchers. I don't really need this either. We'll hold on to... I guess we'll just do it like that. Make a new Gholdengo. Place that down. Cool coin bonus. I actually don't want to keep drawing cards though, because I don't want to deck myself out. Because I still need 3 more knockouts. So we'll just go ahead, you know, make it rain. 2 energies down. Knock that out. This is a pretty underwhelming game, I think, because they just misplayed. Well, it's not even that they misplayed. It's like they misplayed in the sense of like not using the Gimmighoul and like making that work. But outside of that, really what the biggest issue I think is that, you know, Greninja just bodied them immediately, and I don't think they knew how to like recover and play back from that. But also I think they're playing a pretty bad deck. Like playing the bug catchers and playing Rourke. Is that how you say it? Rourke? It's pretty bad. I think the lady's okay. Like I think the lady's fine, but everything else is pretty bad. I don't agree with playing Cloth. I don't really agree with playing Koraidon or I mean, Sandy Shocks is fine. I actually don't think that's inherently that bad. Koraidon's also like okay. But yeah, this deck is not great. We're just gonna go ahead. Do we want to look for... Oh, wait a minute. I'm being dumb. We'll cross switcher. We'll just pull up the Koraidon. Put this one in the active. Drop the energy down. We'll superior. Get rid of the 2 VIP. And just grab some energies. Doesn't really matter which ones we grab. Then we'll just do it again. Oop, no, I'll keep that. I don't need these anymore. And grab the remainder of all of our energy. And we'll just attack for 400, end the game. That one was a little awkward. We're gonna do one more. Yeah, we'll do one. We'll do a game 3. I think they kind of aren't playing the best style deck, so there's not a lot to really say about this game. But also 2, I think once we used Greninja, and the main reason why I'm going to keep this game in is because of that Greninja play. Not because it's, you know, overly fancy or played very well or anything like that, but mostly just because, like, just to show the power of why Greninja in this deck is so strong, especially paired with Palkia and your ability to, like, discard all the energies you need so quickly. That if your opponent doesn't have the Manaphy in deck, or if they're playing something like we saw it in the Shadow Rider deck, like if that had been normal Gardevoir EX, we could have just knocked out the Curlius and like kept that rotating. And it just shows how powerful your Greninja is to set up early plays while you build into your Gholdengos and like use them to speed up the rest of your game. It really shores up the kind of slow early game that Gholdengo can have sometimes since it's so draw reliant. But yeah, we'll go into game 3. This will be maybe a little bit of a longer video, but I wasn't super happy with that that game, so we'll do one more. And I'll see you guys in the game. Peace. Alright, so we're into the next game. Our opponent's going to be going first. We're mulliganing again. This would have been not bad to have just had like a normal, basic. Wouldn't have been great, but it wouldn't have been that bad. This is okay as well. We'll be able to kind of get our setup going a little bit. We have Ultra Balls to get ourselves into Palkia VSTAR. We're against Chien-Pao with a Kyurem V. Interesting. It's weak to Steel. That's gonna be pretty hype. That's one thing. Chien-Pao is a really good matchup for us. One, because we hit for weakness, so we need like way less cards to discard. Typically 3 energies is all we ever need. So that'll be good. I mean, it'll be able to knock us out really easily as well, so that kind of sucks. This may become like a race to the finish style situation. But we're going to go place these down. They could be playing a Greninja of their own. And I don't want to accelerate it back Excalibur play, so we're just going to go ahead and lay the Manaphy down. Got ourselves another energy. Our Palkia is probably knocked out next turn, if we're being completely honest. So, what do we want to do? Even at 260, it's probably going to get knocked out. So, we could... sorry about that. Weird cough. We could just set up another one. But I think what we actually are going to do is we're just going to Ultra Ball away these pieces and find ourselves a second, find ourselves the, yeah, we're going to find ourselves a second Palkia and get that into play, so that way we'll probably, like I said, we're probably going to end up getting knocked out. So when this happens, we can go Gimmighoul. They'll end up most likely, we're kind of making future plays here. The likelihood that they play, you know, more of their bench down, like this is going to be a rare candy for Excalibur. And the likelihood that they start playing more, you know, Pokemon under their bench is pretty high. So we're going to hold reserve. So that way, on our next turn, we go Gimmighoul into the active, Gholdengo, draw 2, energy retrieval, grab ourselves 2 more energies, use Greninja, draw 2 more, and then we can resolve for potentially upwards to 6, but we'll see. It looks like they're actually not playing more down, which is pretty interesting. There's a glacial wind. So they're keeping a low bench count, maybe because they saw Palkia. So we'll see what we're able to draw here. That hits for 240. But now they're out of energies, and it doesn't look like they have much of a hand to work with. We're going to still make the same play. There's a Nest Ball. That'll give ourselves another Gimmighoul to set up for another play onto the VMAX. We'll set up our Gholdengo, draw 2. Alright, so that works. We'll energy resolve or retrieval. Grab ourselves 2, discard 1 with Radiant. There's another Nest Ball, so what we'll do is we'll discard Nest Ball and 1 energy. We gotta place the PokéStop here. And spin. That doesn't really help us, but it doesn't really hurt us either. We'll get rid of that and a Cross Switcher. And that'll give us all the energy that we need in order to at least start getting somewhere in this game. So we can place this down. Let's see. Rooting for weakness, so we only need 3. Yeah, because we need 150 to turn into 300. Get the knockout there. Take 2 prizes, and from this point we should be fine. Our hand's a little bit awkward, because if they go Kyurem V, knockout Gholdengo, it all just depends on how much more they're able to play. If they don't have much else, then we just go Gimmighoul active, Gholdengo, spin the PokéStop, discard with Radiant Greninja, and draw with Gholdengo EX. Conveniently, again, we're only going to need 4 energy in order to knock out the Kyurem VMAX. And that'll put us down to only needing 1 prize, where then we just look for a Baxcalibur knockout. And that'll be easier to do because we can just make Palkia VSTAR later on and Star Portal the water energies back into our deck. So does hit for 270, discards 3. So we're still in an okay position here, and as long as we keep our numbers low after knocking out this, Palkia VSTAR won't be able to knock us out. So we'll go ahead and get that. We have Worker for 3 more cards, so we'll coin bonus. There's another Worker, there's a Cross Switcher. We can concealed cards. That doesn't really matter, but the Cross Switcher will be good for later. We'll PokéStop here, looking for Energy Retrieval. Didn't find anything, which makes this a little bit more awkward. That works, though. So we have the Earthen Vessel. We'll be able to discard the PokéStop here. Grab ourselves double Steel Energy. And then, I think what the play is going to actually be here is that we'll Cross Switcher. We'll pull up the Baxcalibur, put Palkia VSTAR into the active, and Star Portal. And then what we'll do is we'll do 1, 2, and we'll just attach the extra. We'll attach the extra onto our Palkia, and the reason I'm going to do this, and then we'll attach 1 Steel Energy to the basic, or, you know, to our EX. The reason why I want to do this is that I want to make sure that, 1, they don't have the ability to Baxcalibur on their next turn, which could help us out. If they already have the Palkia VSTAR, there's nothing that we could have done. Unfortunately, we just didn't draw into the energy retrievals that we needed. We want the highest HP target possible in the active to try to make it a little bit harder for them to knock us out. And we also want the ability to retreat on our next turn. So if we have to use Palkia VSTAR, we can retreat with 2 energy, still have 1 energy on it if we need to bring it back and make that a little bit easier to KO. There's a Chien-Pao. So it looks, so far it looks like the plan worked out. And then all we need on our next turn is we can retreat, go into Gholdengo, start drawing ourselves some cards using our Worker, and looking for a knockout on, you know, any of these targets. The benefit as well is that, again, all we'll have to do is, like, if we get into our pieces, we can't Cross Switcher again. That's gonna suck a little bit, but it's fine because we do hit for weakness. So it just couldn't. I don't think they can knock us out here. Yeah, 270. They don't have enough. So we just need a couple energies. and we should be fine. So we can retreat out. This is also why we wanted to put in our target with 280. The numbers were in our favor that they weren't going to be able to knock us out. So all we need is like a single energy, and the game's over. There's a PokéStop. We'll lay that down. We'll actually spin, looking for a retrieval. Got it. Then again, we can just worker, get rid of that. And there's also the last energy. But at this point, we'll just go and BM. So we'll Gimmighoul and grab some energies. The chances of us finding it on the 7 cards we had left in deck was pretty likely, so I wasn't really worried about it. But yeah, so that's why. All right, so I know I talked a lot during the Greninja play in the last game, but for this game, it's kind of the same thing where it's like I needed to make that play because we saw before that they were only able to hit like 260, 270. And after we got rid of the Baxcalibur, the chances of them being able to knock out our Palkia were pretty low. Like, it was possible for sure, but the odds were much lower unless they had the Palkia VSTAR. And if they had that, there wasn't really much we could have done. But we had to make that play because it's more likely that they would have been able to abuse Baxcalibur and just place stuff from their hand than having to find another piece where it's likely that their Palkia V-Star, they probably only run like one of with a list like that because there's so many Pokemon they have to run. It would be likely that they only run like one Palkia V-Star, so the chances of them finding it are probably pretty low if it wasn't already in their hand. So we want to make sure that our highest HP target is, you know, on the field. We have all the pieces to be able to retreat with. We take away their resources, and we kind of just, like, yes, it's a number situation, but we have to make the most effective play possible. And I believe that was it. If you guys saw a different play or something better that I could have done, let me know. But I feel like that was the right play to make, especially because it allowed us to be able to retreat, still use Palkia if we had to, with just dropping down a single energy. But yeah, so definitely let me know. But I like the play. I thought it was good. But yeah, that's going to be game 3, guys. Definitely some interesting decks today. It was kind of weird to find all that on the ladder, but, you know, all good. Let me know what you want to see next. For sure, drop lists in the comments, or just let me know what you kind of want me to experiment with. Let me know if there's other content that you'd love to see or, you know, would want to see on the channel. Definitely working on expanding for this year. I have a video about, like, building the Miraidon list coming out soon that I want to start working on more tomorrow. But yeah, all the YouTube stuff, like always, like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. I appreciate it, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.